everybody, welcome back to Crafters TV. Welcome to Monday Makers. Welcome to a brand new week here on Crafters TV. There is so much. Well, I was going to tell you all about the things that are coming up. Should we just dive in and have a look at everything that's on the way? Let's have a look at the Crafters calendar, because this is what is your sort of go-to for the week to let you know what is on the way. We had a beautiful masterclass this morning with myself and Sarah. You can go back and watch that back. Monday Makers is where we are right now. Now, tomorrow, always a busy day here on Crafters TV. Softer Side of Life will be here at 11 a.m. in the UK, or 6 a.m. if you are on the East Coast. Launch Party, where we bring you brand new product, brand new deals, fast becoming one of your favourite shows. That will be here tomorrow evening at 4 p.m. in the UK, or 11 a.m. on the East Coast. Another masterclass coming up on Wednesday, a very, very exciting one with exploding boxes. Very excited by that. And then a Creative Cravings will be here, our sort of back to basics, let's call it, show on a Wednesday afternoon here in the UK, or in the morning at 11 a.m. if you are on the East Coast. Thursday, double cartload again. I'll be here with Leanne in the morning, and then Sarah later in the day. And then Friday, a very exciting Colour Me Happy show will be coming your way. And then also Saturday, there's the best of. There might be something happening. You know what? I don't know if I'm allowed to. Am I allowed to say? Oh, I'm not allowed to say what it is, but I can tell you that we will be live on Sunday. I know there's a blank box there at the moment, but that is not the case. Whatever could it be? Right, someone I know that's equally as bad as keeping secrets as I am. The fantastic, the lovely, the adorable Leanne is here. How are you, Leanne? Did you have a good weekend?
I had a lovely weekend, thank you, Joe. I did some gardening. I baked a pie. I made a ginger and marmalade cake actually as well.
Yum!
And I crocheted even a cushion. So I was industrious this weekend. I had, you know, when you've got restless legs and you just can't sit down, Joe. That's the kind of weekend I had this weekend.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had a fabulous weekend. I know there's loads coming up. Do you fancy giving us a little, as you would say, soupçon as to what we might be making in the next hour, 2 hours even?
A little sneaky peek, Steph.
Yes, please.
We've got all sorts coming up, Joe. We've got our amazing vintage lace collection, and I know this is always ridiculously popular whenever we bring it to you. We've got some amazing 3D embossing folders with our glorious metallic inks in a pot. We're going to be looking at techniques and different ways you can use them. We've also got, from this morning, these fantastic double-sided creator cards, borders and toppers. So if you missed that masterclass with our Sarah this morning, we're going to have another opportunity to have a look at them.
Oh, it's going to be a very, very exciting show. We've got loads coming up. We'd love you to get in touch with us as well. Loads of you commenting away already over on Facebook. I'm monitoring the comments on the Crafters TV Facebook page. So I can see Eleanor's here from Pennsylvania, Heather's saying hi from East Yorkshire, Catherine is saying hi from Maryland as well. I can see Debbie's watching. What am I like? Hi, Debbie. And good morning from Seattle, says Stacey. Loads of you saying hello. Any questions that you've got, any comments, get them into the Facebook Live, and I will do my best to monitor them as we go along with the show. Now, we need to start off every Monday Makers, as we do with our... I'm gonna cue her for the sound effect. Ready for our...
What is it? Ready? Okay.
For our
Monday Mega Deal.
That's what it is. Yes, I'm glad we'll cut that bit out afterwards.
What is it?
What now? And yes, it is our Monday Mega Deal. Now, we've put together a lovely collection of crafty fun items for you. So you've got a craft box die selection in here. We've also got the beautiful Stitched with Love die that is in here. You've got a stencil. Now, our stencils are so great quality, you'll be able to use them as your embossing folders as well. We've got a Knit and Natter. Love a Knit and Natter. Another metal die in there, and you've also got as well that beautiful crafty fun embossing folder, and even some stamps in there as well to go with that. So a great saving on that. You're saving 25%. Let me just show you some of the things that are in here. So we've got a couple of boards just to show you what you've got in there. So there's your Stitch with Love. There's your Knit and Natter. Oh, that's the sewing box one that you've got there. So it makes all those little items for you. And then these are the kind of things you'll be able to do. I love that embossing folder with the colouring techniques in there. You've got, again, that embossing folder. You've also got the stencil that's been used on this one here. And then your stamps. Oh, they're stuck together. Your stamps here have been used to create this. So it gives you an idea of the different look and feel that you can create using these, which is great. £22 or $29 to get this. You're saving a quarter, which is great. Now, because it's the Monday mega deal, it only lasts for 24 hours, so you do need to grab it whilst we have it. Now, we're going to go back and look at something that proved so incredibly popular when we brought it to you on Thursday as part of our cartload show. So popular, in fact, that we brought it back. Now, there's a couple of different ways in which you can get this, but I want you to hold fire and wait for the big deal at the end, if you will. So, let's go into the metal die. I want to start off with this one just here, because you've got included in here the Chantilly lace border, and it is such a popular die every time we bring it to you. And the great thing is that you've got the outside edge removed, so it means you can cut the detail in or you can cut the detail out, which is fantastic. So you're going to get that. You're also going to get some of your foliage dies as well. Now these are brilliant. This is the vintage vine, so you're also going to get the botanicals as well. These are fantastic if you've got foam, your foam flowers. I know that the foliage dies from our flower forming range has been out of stock for a little while. These will both work beautifully instead of those. You've then got a couple of different items here. Now this is your petite posies and your vintage rose. Now these are for you to make flowers, but think about using things like your mulberry papers if you want to, your tissue papers. They're really great at allowing you to create those lifelike petals. So you get all of those, and then saved it till last. This one is just gorgeous. It's the Schmetterling, or the butterfly, and this is the one that creates 3 different sizes. You can lift and manipulate those wings as well if you want to. So great for being able to layer this up. Now if you go for this on its own, literally shut the front door, shut the back door and run up the street naked kind of price. You've got 45% off of this. It is amazing value for money, £30 or $35. So you've got that bit first. Then what we've also got are the frames and folders collection. So you've got firstly your Venetian lace folder, which is this one here, and again with all of our embossing folders, going to really give you that deep 3D emboss, like the paper has been sculpted, which is fantastic. Then you've got 2 different kinds of frames in here. Now you do get a lot in here. I'll just turn this over. It's 5 dies in here, but they're like very, very fancy nested dies is the best way to think of them. Great for mats and layers, wonderful for scrapbook images as well. And you've also then got, you've got the Baroque and you've got the Rococo as well. So both of those, and I initially didn't think really you'd use those 2 together, but I was wrong. They do work beautifully together using the ovals and the squares at the same time. Now, if you want to go for that one separately, you can. £20 or $24, or great saving. Again, it's saving more than you're spending when you go for it all together, because if you buy the metal die collection and you buy the frames and folder, we then really give you loads of great free stuff. So you're going to get the linen papers included as well. So these are going to be free for you. Now these should be £9.99 if you're in the UK. So it's great that we're including those for you. Now we've also going to include for you the ribbon. The ribbon should be £4.99. So we're up to like what, £14.98 here. And we're also going to include the rub-ons for you too. Again, another £4.99. So actually, what's that? £19, let's say, between splitting the pennies, £20 worth of goodies included for free when you buy them both together. Now, of that stock, I'm hearing 10% of the stock has already sold out and gone on the Vintage Lace whole collection. When it goes, we'll come back and we'll offer them to you as 2 separates, but you won't get the £20 worth of freebies, which is what I want every single one of you to make sure you get. Loads of you saying hello. Oh, Jan in Italy is sat on the terrace watching us and dozing off. Have you got a glass of wine on the go as well, Jan? I mean, it is 5 o'clock in Italy, so I think that's a bit late. Kirsten's running a bit late. She had to get her Gummibärchen, which is her gummy bears, I think, is what she's gone to the shop for. So yeah, any questions or comments, get them into the comments. And also, if you want to send us in any pictures, let us know what you've been up to. We love it when you send us some photos. You can do that by emailing studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Details are right along the bottom of the screen. We've got those wonderful sparklings coming up later. We've got loads of embossing folders on the show for you. Then we're going to be revisiting as well some of the earlier stuff from the masterclass too. If you want to watch and shop at the same time, details along the bottom of your screen. crafterscompanion.wherever.co.uk.com or .eu, and you're able to watch and shop at the same time. Now I know Leanne has got so much she wants to show you, so I'm going to hand you over to Leanne, and I am going to dive into these comments.
Well, hello Joe. I've been crafting up a little storm over here because, you know, whenever this vintage lace collection is available and it's glorious, I just can't help myself. I start crafting and creating immediately. I always have so many ideas. It's just really fabulous. And if your mojo's got up and left the building, as mine regularly does, this is a collection that's just going to bring that right back for you, and you're going to want to start crafting straight away. So we're going to have a look at a couple of different little things we could do with this collection, I think. And we're just going to take our time with it because it really is beautiful, and I think it will give you lots and lots of inspiration, and you'll be able to see just how fabulous this collection is and how brilliant these dies are when they're cut out. And we're going to be doing quite a bit of cutting because there's lots of little pieces that I need for the couple of little different projects that I've got for you here. I am going to be using the rub-ons, I would say, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but you know, you're a crafter, you'll understand. I would get the whole collection just so I can have the rub-ons, because they are truly beautiful and work a dream. Now look how beautiful that is. I just cut that through, no metal shim in there, wasn't required, and look how beautiful that first die cut is. Couple more of these, Joe, because I want to do a little concept card with these, which I really love. And notice what I'm doing. I'm just giving a little tap to this die and it's already cleaned out. It's already lovely and clear. Yes, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to do another one of this colour. Yeah, why not? I'm making it up as I go along, Joe.
Also, Leanne, I do need to let you know there is a Joe Wants to Know today as well.
Oh.
And it is, Joe wants to know, me being Joe, what is the first thing you ever made? Your first ever project?
Oh.
Also, I need to say that Debbie's comment is, Joe, you look gorgeous with those glasses on. Big heart face. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I couldn't get my lenses in today, so I put these on. But did I tell you, Leanne, as well, that I lost these about 7 years ago and only found them last year?
Oh, you didn't tell me that. That's
yeah,
your glasses.
They're not really the right prescriptions. I can't really read the details on the screen, but they are pretty good. I mean, if I'd have to get really kind of about there, I can see it. So.
All right, okay. Well, if you keep running up at the screen, we know why now,
Absolutely.
don't we? We do. Okay.
What was the first thing you ever made?
Well, honestly, the first thing I ever made, do you know what I did? I bought some, you know what, if you've been crafting for a long time, I'm wondering whether I can say the brand name or not. I'm just going to say it. Actually, years ago, Sizzix used to do little toppers that looked like little people. So it was a bit like Dress Your Own Doll. You know, where you used to get those books when you were little, you would cut the little head, you'd cut the Lego hair, you'd cut the little body, that little arms. I mean, sorry, Sizzix, they weren't very nice. But it was a long time ago, and they were revolutionary back then. Back then, everybody wanted them, as I did, because it was the first thing I made. And I decided to make a fairy. But at the time, or at least I didn't know, there weren't any stamps that went with. So I bought all the parts to make this fairy for Christmas cards. And then I drew her face on.
Right, how did that go?
Didn't go well. Yes, my husband still refers to that fairy this day. And again, if this offends, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to tell you. My husband still refers to those fairies today as my bung-eyed fairies. Because wow. I did have one eye in the hairline and one eye on the cheek. and then a nose. It was a bit Quasimodo. It was a bit Elephant Man. Honestly, Joe, they were not.
Did you keep any of them?
Well, we think it might be in the loft somewhere, but we don't know. I mean, we have looked for them because it would be hilarious if I could just share that with you again, honestly. So it was a really
were you meant to buy
bad
stamps that went with them, that you stamped that
I don't
on?
think there were any. I don't think we'd got that sophisticated because it's about 15 years ago. It's a long time ago. So I don't think we were that sophisticated then. I think people really just did get a pen and poke the eyes on. Do you know what I mean? They were just like alien fairy with eyes all over, one in the hairline, one on her cheek. I mean, God love her. And she was in the most psychedelic orange and blue colour you've ever seen in your life. She looked nothing like a fairy. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Joe. I mean, you know, I grew into me craft and I got stylish as time went on. But back then, yeah, it wasn't my finest work. It really wasn't.
Robin says she glittered the end of a pine cone. That sounds like a pretty good first project to me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It sounds like a perfect first project. Right, I'm just cutting out lots of little pieces you can see here. So I always forget the names of these. You remember them, Joe. The big oblong frame.
That is the Rococo.
Thank you. And then the oval frame.
Baroque.
Thank you very much. So I've got that and that all cut out. So you see I'm starting to build those up and I'm quite liking how that looks. I think I'm going to put another little panel on the inside. Why not? Because I do like these little panels and I like layering up lots of different colours of cardstock. And the other thing about that big bundle, Joe, is you get one of my favourite things in the collection, apart from the rub-ons, which we are going to be looking at, and that is the cardstock. The cardstock that I'm using this is the one I'm using here now. It is beautiful. You've got really lovely linen texture in there. It's just divine, Joe. And the colours are really perfect for working with your vintage lace collection. So I'm just cutting another little frame out here, and you see what I wanted to do with this was just get all of the pieces out that's in the bundle and then just cut them and have you see how, you know, I just start layering things up and have something come to life as we start working with it. I haven't really got anything ready here. It's kind of a live crafty session as we go along, Joe.
I've got nothing ready.
Nothing's ready.
I need to let you know that a fifth of the stock of the large collection has now sold out and gone. We're having a very, very busy start to this Monday Makers show. So make sure you get your order in. I know that when we brought it to you before, a lot of you missed out on this collection. And I don't want you to miss out on all those freebies. I want you to get the £10 worth of paper. I want you to get the £5 worth of rub-ons and the £5 worth of ribbon completely free of charge. Our accountants would prefer that you came back on another day and bought all this and didn't get all the freebies, but me and Leanne, we want you to get the free bits, don't we, Leanne?
We definitely do want you to get the freebies. And actually what I'm going to show you as well, hopefully, in fact not hopefully, I will show you, is how to make a chocolate box bow with that gorgeous satin ribbon on there. And it's something, I think it's a long forgotten art, and actually I'd be interested to know from all of you whether the chocolate box bow is something that you still love to make, because it's one of chocolate box bow. I'm showing my age again, Joe.
I've never heard of that.
Have you not? I'll show you. It really is gorgeous. Now the other thing that I love about these, you see all I've done is use two different colours of card. Look, when I've glued all this together, how beautiful and just exquisite that is coming together, just alternating the colours, which gives you that lovely texture, builds up the lovely 3D dimension for you, and gets us ready for the next little bit that I'm going to do, which is some pretty butterflies.
Gorgeous. Diane saying hello from Tennessee. Lovely to see you, Leanne. And Joe, you look so business-like in your glasses. Buy, sell. I don't think so. Sarah said I look studious in them earlier, which is a very good word, isn't it?
It's a very good word.
I was a terrible student at school, so this is the closest I've ever got to being studious. We've had pictures in already, Leanne. Do you want to have a look at them?
Oh, I'd love to. Yes.
This is from Monica here. Oh, I love that.
Oh, fantastic. Now, do you know what I love about this, Joe? Shall I tell you?
Please.
I'm going to tell you why I love it. I love it because those colours are not in the traditional vintage lace colour palette that I'm working with here. They are so much more rich and opulent, and what it shows brilliantly is that actually these elements in this kit will work with whatever colour whatever colour concept that you want to use it with. So it could be much more rich and opulent and regal, like Monica's was there, beautiful. It could be the lovely pastel, the way we designed it in the first place. But equally, a lot of these elements would work in a really grungy, dark style. And actually these frames cut on black, I might have to do that, cut on black card and then gilding waxed up would look off the chart fantastic. And that's what I love about these elements, and I think that's why you all love them too, because you can see, for all it's called a vintage lace collection, and for all we did it in those lovely pastel tones when we developed it, actually the elements in here are just fantastic crafty stash builders. And that means that you can have them in your collection forevermore and use them with whatever else you're putting them with, and they're going to work.
I said to Sarah when we did this collection before, why do you think it's been so successful? And she said she thought it was because it was so generic, and she didn't mean that in a bad way, but she meant, you know, you could give it to anyone really for any kind of occasion, or at least you could pull elements in from this collection into pretty much anything you're going to do.
Yes, so where she says generic, I would say versatile.
That's a great way of putting it.
Do you know what I mean? Because it is literally, they are very generic, but they're not beautiful. They are, as you said, Joe, they're just very, very versatile. They will work across, and I'm definitely going to get a bit of black card and grunge up one of these frames for you to see, because I think if your natural style is a little bit more grungy, you're going to be able to see just how they'll work for you as well. So we'll put this card together. I've got another card almost ready where I just want to show you how to use your rub-ons and a chocolate box bow, so you can see how beautiful those are the little elements are that you get. And then I think we'll have a look at grunging it up as well, why not? And I must show you the embossing folder. Right, so I've got all of my little pieces cut now, and we're ready to assemble. So what I'm going to do for the back of my card is just fold this little piece in half. Now you could get your scoring board out, of course. I'm being a lazy quick crafter there, and I'm just scoring it in half to start with. So that's going to be my little stand for my card. I'm then going to use my dotty tape pen, and I'm going right across all of the lacy detail here, because I want this stuck down nice and firm to the top piece. I'm then going to just give a couple of my regular tape pen lines in there to grab the centre. Now what I'm doing is my second panel I've got here, we're lining this up, and we're lining it up perfectly with the bottom piece. So that means now when I fold that over, I've got a little self-supporting card. And just to make it self-support more, just take your bone folder, burnish your crease, so reinforce your crease there, and that will give it the crispness you need when you want it to stand self-supported. So you see hands, oh, my samples are in the way, let me get them out the way for you. There we go, where you can see that self-support. Before it had giraffe legs, and it was simply the burnishing of the crease, the reinforcing of the crease that made that stand up. Okay, so there we go, that's ready. Now I can just start layering. So I've got my tape pen, and then I've got, and all of these perfect mats and layers were created using the die set. So it's not just the die set you've got, it's all of these fabulous mats and layers that you've also got that work beautifully. And Joe, as you said earlier, you're quite right. You see how the oval frame set and the rectangle frame set actually perfect complement to each other.
Yeah, and you wouldn't imagine so, would you? When you look at them two side by side as individual die collections, of course they work beautifully together. The most amount of versatility by having the both of them together. A quarter of the stock of this collection has now sold out and gone. I just need to let you know that it is very, very busy. We've brought it to you about, maybe this is the third time we've brought it to you in about a month and a half. And every time we bring it back to you, the collections get smaller because it is coming kind of to the end of the road for this collection now. So every time we do bring it back, we can only bring you back the bits that we've got left. That's why we only have a finite amount of stock with all the free gifts in it, because we want you to get the free gifts. Remember, you're getting the ribbon worth £5, the rub-on worth £5, and then the paper worth $9.99. Is this paper the paper that you've used there, Leanne?
Yes.
Is it this linen one?
All of it.
Isn't it lovely?
Yes. It is absolutely gorgeous. The texture on it is exquisite. You can see from what I'm putting together here, the colours go together beautifully, but the quality is fabulous, and it's perfect for die cutting, Joe. Absolutely perfect.
Loads of you commenting along about all of the things that you've been making. Lots of people saying that they've got a setup now on the big telly, Leanne, which is always great. So yeah, Rosalind saying that she's got it downloaded to her TV now as well. Anne's asking what a chocolate box bow is. You're going to show us one of those?
I am going to show you that, yes. Perfect. Now what I did is when I cut those 3 little butterflies, there's 3 different sizes of butterfly in that packet. They are exquisite. I cut all 3 and I've laid them up as in the same colour card. I've laid them up as one butterfly, and I love the lacy filigree look that it gives you to that butterfly with all of that dimension and texture flying from the card there. And that's how simple it is just to pop that together like that. And that's just using the dies and the cardstock that you've got in that bundle, but it's gorgeous and you're going to be able to do things like that yourself easily. Now I've got another little card almost ready here because I just wanted to show you a couple of the other favourites that I've got in this collection, and you'll have to excuse me when I keep leaning in and showing you my horrible grey roots. Apologies. Right, so now I'm going to get my rub-ons out, Joe. Oh, now who loves a rub-on? Tell Joe in the comments if you are a rub-on lover just like me. Honestly, I really adore them because they're so usable and fabulous. Now I've got these lovely, and these ones in this collection are gorgeous because they're white and like a pale pink, so they'll really stand out on darker cards if that's what you want to do. Or if you don't want to do that and you just want to decorate some patterned paper, you can use them in that way as well. Actually, I'm going to decorate my little piece here, so so you can see it on the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh Lord, I know what the word is. Pearlescent panel. There we go. I got there in the end. So you see, I'm just lining up the rub-on that I want to use. You can see that there. And then I'm using a bone folder. And I just give that a little rub in place. So I can go directly onto the textured cardstock if I want to. I can go directly onto my patterned papers. I can go onto my darker papers if I want, because these are white, so that means they're opaque. Using your inking techniques and then putting these over the top is truly beautiful. And you see, I'm just giving it a good rub. Now you can use a lollipop stick if you want to, but I like to use my burnisher, my bone folder. The one with the flat edge, the Crafter's Companion. You can see it's a Crafter's Companion one. I just find that little edge on there is the perfect edge for applying your rub-ons. What I do is I keep my finger here and I just peel it up to see if I've got it all, and I have. And look how beautiful that is. So you can start to give a self-patterning look to your cardstocks if that's what you want to do, and it looks gorgeous. And
it's almost like sort of etching, isn't it? Like glass etching, yeah, but on a piece of cardstock.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Lots of you saying that it's very divisive, the rub-ons. Some people have used them, some people haven't used them. Lynn loves them. Shirley's never used them. Donna saying she loves them. We would need more. Lisa saying I'd love, in capitals, a mega set of rub-ons. Helen saying she loves them as well. The rub-ons are really easy to use, Darlene says. So a lot of love for them. Yeah. Deborah saying she purchased the first big set on HSN. Remember, you get the rub-ons for free when you get the big collection, along with a ribbon and the cardstock that's being used as well. So it's great to get them all together. And you're saving more than you're spending. It's not often we say that, is it?
It really isn't. And I mean, look, that just gives a lovely patination to that cardstock. Really pretty if that's what you want to do. I love that. Okay, so I've just got some pieces already cut and already ready, because I desperately want to show you and how to do the chocolate box bow. Now I might not finish this entire card, you'll have to use your imagination, but you'll get the idea. Now I want to just tell you, this is going to be one of those Z-fold cards, and I want to just explain to you how I've done that. I've taken one full sheet of that cardstock that you get, and I've trimmed it to 5 3/4 inches long, which gives me a square card. I've then half folded and half folded again to give me that. And I've done exactly the same with this piece down here. So half fold, so you see they're both the same. Then all you do is rotate that one so that it goes in the opposite direction, and then when you glue it, that's what gives you your Z-fold. Okay, so
Wonderful.
that's all I've done to get that ready. I'm going to do some sticking and then we're going to have a look at the chocolate box bow.
It's really busy, Leanne, on this big
Is it?
collection. 30% has gone now. Mary Coleman says you can't find it on the website. Go onto the homepage of our website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, and then you'll see the video of this show right there on the website, and underneath it'll be a Shop Now button. It should be there. The one you're looking for is the Sarah Signature Vintage Lace Star By collection is the one that you are after, and that will give you everything that you can see in this collection. So make sure you grab that one. £50 or $59. And this is a great one, isn't it? A good stash builder, this one, don't you think?
Oh, it's a perfect stash builder, Joe. Really, all of the elements in here are usable. I mean, just imagine, so I kind of what I want you to do almost is just delete the word vintage lace from your mind.
Okay.
And just think about it as the most beautiful range of dyes and elements and flowers and frames and lacy borders that exists and is going to allow you to just use them with all of the different collections that you've got at home. That's the Chantilly lace one, and you can see how glorious that is. You get the matte and layer as well. I did that straight away because I wanted that to be done quite quickly for you. Now what I am going to do is use my embossing folder. I've done a little bit of my rub on here with some texture, but along here, this is getting everything but the kitchen sink thrown at it. Along here I want some actual embossed texture. So I'm going to put the embossing folder in here and put it through the Junior. Here we go.
Wonderful.
There we are.
Really busy still for this collection right now. Some people might be seeing it as called online, maybe seeing it as coming up as a cartload collection rather than the Star By collection. What I can say is for those people that are seeing it as a cartload collection, it is exactly the same item and same bundle. So it's some of you may be seeing it called that. So just so you are aware, that's what it is. Remember, the saving you've got here is amazing. £116 or $145 is what you should be saving. So if you're seeing it as a Star By collection, brilliant. If you're seeing it as a cartload collection, also brilliant. It's exactly the same thing. It's important. But as I said, you want it to be quick because over 30% of it's gone just in this first half an hour.
Now with my embossing folder here, I just wanted a little bit of the embossing on the border, so I've just layered my piece of cardstock inside to pick up part of the pattern. So when you've got an embossing folder, don't think about having to use the full pattern all of the time. You can use it just as in half. Now what I did, because I'm using my Gemini machine and my Junior plates, I put the piece in a double. So I put it in folded, and look, the embossing, the quality of this folder is such. And then the other reason I like to do this, if you look here, I'm going to bring it up, can you see how, because that's doubled over and that's the edge of the pattern, actually, because it was in half, it's mirrored it down here. So then I've got the mirror image of the pattern going all the way along. It looks like a continuous seam. So just using a part of the folder in that way gives you this lovely continuous edge to the pattern. I want to show you how.
I've not seen one used like that before.
Yeah, it's honestly fantastic, Joe. Right, now, chocolate box bow, here we go. So I'm going to use the dark purple, I'm going to use my purple ribbon here, and I'm winding it off. And I'm just going to snip that edge off. Here we go. And then I'm going to do a little bit of tape here, just to keep it still. A little bit here, here, and here. Okay. When you see it, you'll all go, oh, of course, that's what a chocolate box bow is. We know that. You will know it. I know for a fact you will. Sometimes it's just being reminded. So I'm putting a little bit of tape there, and then I'm trimming that off ever so slightly and folding that over. Okay, so I've just got now a nice, and you know, you would iron this. Does anybody else iron their ribbon?
No, absolutely not.
You don't? Well, I iron my
as little
ribbon
as possible.
Now, you see, and the reason I do that is I can see where it's being folded and it doesn't line up with my creases, and that would just bother me. So I would iron my ribbon, but you can choose whether you want to iron your ribbon or not yourself at home. And then this is going to get stuck in place. And then the chocolate box bow bit comes in a second. So that's getting stuck here and it's getting stuck here. Here we go. So I'm going to pop that there. And you see how having, for all that's a plain piece of cardstock, that's going over the top of those lovely papers that I've got on there. Because I've embossed it and got that lovely continuous emboss going on, it starts to look really beautiful. And actually embossing over the rub-ons gives you the embossed pattern over the top of that pattern below with the rub-on, gives you lots of layers of texture. It's gorgeous. Right, so there. Now this is where we start to do the chocolate box bow bit. And if I had red double-sided tape, I would use that, but I haven't, so I'm just going to have to bear with me. So first things first, that's layer 1. So I just choose about how big I want the bow to be, and that's a good size for me. Cut 1 piece. And then I want 2 more pieces, about 1.5 inches shorter. So I'll use the first piece I've cut, and then cut another piece shorter. And then I use that piece, line up my ribbon on top, and cut another piece shorter. There we go. And then I need 1 more small piece that's going to wrap around the middle. I think probably need a bit bigger. There we go. So now what we do is we overlay it. So I put a little bit of my tape. Now I would use red liner, Joe, but I can't find it. So I'm using tape pen for now.
You can use... Good job our tape pens are super strong, isn't it?
Oh yes, absolutely. So you see I've done my tape pen on there. And then what I do is I bring it round and I make a loop.
You've really started something with the ironing the ribbon malarkey.
Have I?
You really have. Someone has got travel hair straighteners they use to do their ribbon.
What a good idea.
Says she bought a small iron to iron ribbon. Lynn saying you can actually pull your ribbon through your regular hair straighteners to iron it. Fabulous idea.
Well, that's a brilliant idea. Now, you see, as you will have all probably noticed, I don't own any hair straighteners.
Do you not?
No, I don't, Joe. I know it's hard to believe.
I know.
Hard to believe, but I don't. But I might have to buy a little travel pair just for ironing my ribbon. Now, you'll see what I've made here, look, is 3 loops in ever decreasing circles. You see that there? Now, these are going to get stuck on here. Actually, they're going to get stuck together first. So we go 1, and then we go this one on top, in half. I'm going to put a bit of tape on there actually, Joe, just to help me, because otherwise I'll be all fingers and thumbs, just for speed, for you guys being able to see. So there we go. So then this one gets folded in half and puts on top there. Okay, and then this one gets folded, gets stuck down here. A little bit in the middle. And this little final smallest loop goes on top.
I'm really, I'm mesmerised. I think, I can feel everyone
there you go.
On Facebook collectively waiting, holding their breath, waiting for this demonstration.
And then this little piece that I cut here goes on top. So you can see that there. So the 3 loops have gone on top of each other. Turn it over. Red liner tape or your tape pen again. And just, drat. You want plenty. See, I should have done that first. Let's do it again. So you've got your 3 loops, one on top of the other. And then we've got this little bit goes in the middle there. Then that gets folded underneath. Fold 1, fold 2, and you have got a beautiful chocolate box bow.
That's great.
Isn't that lovely? And it's a little bit different. And if you're not very good at folding a perfect bow, actually that is the best way to do it. And I really like them. And I think they look expensive. And it really adds. Now look, on top of there, when you stick it on that little panel, look. That really makes a statement for you, doesn't it?
It looks gorgeous.
You could put some lovely little butterflies on there to finish it off if you wanted to. You know, there's lots you could do with all of the little panels in there, but that's how you're going to be able to use that beautiful ribbon. And look, you can see how that embossed panel follows all the way along and looks lovely. You can use all of those little pieces together. I mean, I've got little frames in here and little butterflies, and if I wanted to put this little frame in here with a sentiment, that would fit in there just nicely, look. So you could have that peeking out if you wanted to. It's just a fabulous collection, Joe, with lots and lots of little pieces that work together beautifully.
Wonderful. Debbie was saying that she remembers making these with you at a Craftaganza a couple of years ago. So loads of you saying, oh yes, now I know what that is. But yeah, someone said, sorry, did you have measurements for those, or just 3 sort of small, medium and large?
Medium and large.
Wonderful. Fancy ribbon making class 101, says Fansas Stephanie. Robin says maybe even putting a pearl in the middle of it would be lovely. Great idea. I bet there's a lot of you now that have in your craft room and have got ribbon out and have got your hair straighteners out and you're just preparing to go through. Right, I want to just recap everything you're getting in this collection because it is an amazing collection. Now, what you've got are your 2 foliage die sets firstly. So you've got this one here, which is your botanicals, and you've got the vintage vines in here as well. Now, these are both great, not just for using in the collection, but for using with a whole host of different projects. They're also wonderful if you want to use them in conjunction with your foam flowers too. So you've got both of those in here. Continuing that sort of floral theme, you've got the vintage rose and the petite posies, and these are both wonderful for doing things like making paper flowers as well and sort of layering them up. So you've got both of those in there as well. Then you've also got in here the butterfly. Now this is so popular, this die on its own. Remember, it makes 3 different sizes, and the great thing is that you can lift those wings up if you want to. You can use them separately, you can layer them up, it is completely up to you. And you've also got the Chantilly lace border in there as well. So you've got absolutely all of that. That's all in the metal die collection. Now, if you wanted to go for the metal die collection on its own, you absolutely can. It is available. You get all 6 of those dies. Details on your screen just there. However, we then have the folder and frame collections. So in this one, you're going to get the Venetian lace embossing folder, really lovely deep 3D emboss that you can get there. You've got the Baroque frames in here too. You've seen Leanne using those. And you've got the Rococo frames as well. So you can get all 3 of those, £20 or $24. Individually, a third of the stock of that one has sold out and gone as well. However, what we thought was that we know so many of you, when you watch these shows, we're saying, okay, but I want to get both collections together. And when you do that, we've done something very special. So you get all 6 dies from the metal die collection. You'll get all the bits that are in the folder and frame collection. But then what we're going to give you are some fabulous free gifts. So you'll get the paper. Now the paper or the cardstock is worth $9.99 on its own. It's a beautiful textured linen. It's 250 GSM as well, which is fantastic. 3 colours, you get 8 of each, you get 24 sheets within there. Then what we're going to do, that's $9.99, we're going to give you the ribbons. Now the ribbons, 3/4 of a metre of each of these you'll get. They're worth $4.99 and they are in there again free of charge. And also those rub-on transfers that you saw, they're going to go in there free of charge. So free gifts with the rub-ons, the ribbons and the cardstock, you're looking at £20 worth of freebies. That's why when you get it together in this configuration, you are saving more than you're spending, which is not something we get to often say. So very busy on that. I know over 30% now of the stock has sold out and gone. There's still loads to come though on this Monday Makers show. So we've got our liquid inks coming up next in the show. Now these are fantastic. So you've got this is the show collection. So you're getting 12 pots of the metallic ink, but then you're also getting all of those other goodies in there as well. Shall I take you through exactly what you've got? 64.96, 104.81. So you're going to get our beautiful metallic inks. Now you've got 3 different collections in here. So you're going to get the rich metal, which has a gold plate, the silver ingot, the ancient bronze, and the pewter. You're also going to get the vintage metallics, which has got the antique bronze, the aged copper, the tarnished silver, and the burnished copper. And then also this one here, which is the antique floral. So in there, antique pearl, you've got the vintage satin, the green citrine, and the rose gold. So you're going to get all of those. Now, so many different ways to use this that Leanne is going to take us through. In this collection, though, what you're also getting is all of these extras. Now, if you wanted to get the metallic inks on their own, they are available on the show on their own, $44.98. But before you do that and think about getting those for not much more, because actually the price of the complete collection is £64.96. So for an extra £20, let me just run you through everything that you're getting in this larger collection. So the value is amazing in the larger collection. So you've got 3 brushes. These brushes are great quality. They're the Crafter's Choice brushes, and you've got the 3 different ones in here that you'll need to do all of the different techniques that you're seeing. We're then going to give you some of our rubber stamps in here, and some of our most popular rubber stamps as well. So you've got in here the Life is Beautiful, you've got Roses in Bloom, and you've also got Sunshine and Smiles. Now these are those unmounted rubber stamps, so you just need to mount those up and they will be good to go. We're then going to give you embossing folders as well. So you've got in here from the lily collection, you've got the Decadent lilies, which was always very popular whenever we bring it to you. You've also got the majestic butterflies. You can never have too many butterflies in your collection. And you've got then the country garden. So you think for £20 extra, you're getting all 3 of the embossing folders, all 3 of the stamp collections, and the free brushes too. Or there is that great deal on the inks on their own as well. So it's completely up to you how you want to go for this. The larger collection though, you're saving 40%. So you've got a really, really good deal on that. Now, I'm going to hand you back over to Leann, because I know she's going to take us all through everything we can do with this. Let me just monitor these comments quickly. I'll tell you what, whilst I look in here. Tom is saying, great show, Joe and Leann. The dog's got an ear infection though, so she's going to the vet, so it's fine because she's going to watch us later. Remember, you can always do that. You can always catch up with us afterwards. Now, a stunning card, says Deborah as well. I can't get any work done watching my iPad. Well, you know, you can do work later when we're not here. That's absolutely fine. It's very easy. Well, so we love you commenting. It's very easy if you want to watch and shop with us at the same time. Here's all the details. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. All the details there of how you can watch and shop at the same time. Kerry is watching us in the garden whilst tackling her first threader embroidery kit and I keep stabbing myself trying to watch and craft. Be careful, Kerry. I'm sure maybe you need to invest in a thimble. Maybe that would be the thing to stop that happening. Loads of you as well. Don't forget, Joe wants to know this week is what is your first project that you ever made? Loads of you sharing them as well. Lots of people. My favourite one was Robin, who said that she had a pine cone. Jean Marie says drawing and colouring paper doll clothes with my mum. What else have we got here? Questions coming in. I'll get those back to Leann. The first thing I ever made were cross-stitch fridge magnets, but for papercraft was a scrapbooking page. That was from Shirley. Tom says teddy bear with movable joints in the 8th grade home economic class was what she made. Evelyn's saying how much she loved the pillow that Leann crocheted over the weekend, which is lovely. It is absolutely gorgeous. She sent me a photo of it, which was lovely. So yeah, you can keep getting those into us as well. Let us know what was the first thing that you ever made. Christine saying, wow, is that what you look like before the quarantine? Lol, just kidding. I think that was Me, I mean, I was definitely a little bit sharper, wasn't I, pre-quarantine? We'll get there. We've all got the lockdown. Look. And then Ray goes and say, "Oh gosh, don't get him started," which is making me laugh. Now remember, the metallic ink collection is what we're going to be taking a look at next with Leanne. And for people, I think some people, Leanne, think these are maybe a little bit scary, these inks, but they don't really need to be, do they?
They really don't need to be scary at all, Joe. They're incredibly easy to use and you get amazing results with them. And I'm going to try and show you as many different little bits of tips and techniques that you might want to try for different things at home. And I've got some samples to show you where you can see what it'll look like when they're done. Now, when you get them home, each individual pot... Now, can I just also say, you know, when we were talking about Joe wants to know there, I didn't realise we'd go all the way back to the first thing we ever made. I just thought it was papercraft when we set off on our papercraft journey. That was the Bong-Eyed Fairies. First thing I ever made was a pom-pom chicken when I was about 4.
A pom-pom chicken?
A pom-pom chicken.
That sounds like a dish, doesn't it? Pom-pom chicken.
Yeah, we'll have
like
some
bang-bang
pom-pom
chicken or firecracker chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, what have you got? Let's love it. I'll have the pom-pom chicken and rice, please.
Pom-pom chicken, that's what I made. And then my gran and my mum taught me to crochet, taught me to knit, taught me to sew, taught me to bake. So I've been doing stuff since I was very young. 4 was the first thing I did, and 5 I was knitting. So yes, I think I didn't realise it was way back when. I've been crafting all my life, Joe.
Yeah, and the cushion. I've got a picture. Shall I send? I've got a picture of the cushion. I'll send it. Shall we share a picture of the cushion? I'm going to email it. I'll email it to the gallery. Don't you worry.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, Joe. So did you see there? I've just removed the plastic seal that was on there. And then can you hear this? Right, there are little ball bearings inside the pot. And I'm just going to turn that over and show you. There is the metal all settled at the bottom. And what I'm doing, this is nearly done. You can see some of the metal's being agitated into this one now. I'm giving it a good shake, which is what you need to do when you get them home, because that agitates, the little balls agitate all the metal off the bottom of the pot and get it swirling inside. So you need to give it a good old shake. Now, the other thing you can do is use a stirring implement. I can't find a stir. Oh, this will do nicely, this quilling tool. And so actually at home, what I've got is, it's the word I'm looking for, Joe. Cocktail sticks, that's the word I'm looking for. I have got at home a whole pot of little cocktail sticks, and I just keep them for this very reason, so that I can stir up the metallic more quickly, and I can leave the cocktail stick in the pot and then keep stirring it up. And what that does is get all of the liquid metal mixed in with the liquid pigment, and so that you get a beautiful metallic result when you start painting. Okay, so now I've got, oh, and I can just see a little bit there that I haven't caught. So I'm just going around the bottom of the pot, and I'm making sure that that liquid metal is dispersed all the way around with the liquid pigment. Cleaning that off because I might need that again for another colour. Now, if I just get a piece of my black cardstock, first things first, what can you do with these when you paint with them? Well, you can just paint as you would normally. And you see I'm picking up the colour with my brush, just painting this onto some black cardstock right now. And you can see how beautiful that is. Now, I'm going to get my heat gun, because when you heat this and when it dries, it gets a beautiful brushed aluminium metallic look to it. So the metallic look that you get with these is very soft, Joe, very subtle. It's like brushed metal, like a brushed aluminium look, rather than a high shine that you get with the gilding waxes. And I love that, because it means we've got very different looks for different projects depending on what we want to do. And now that that's dry, when I move that, and you can see that catching the light, look at the metallic shine you've got on there. It's really beautiful, isn't it? Now, not only can you paint onto what's the word I'm looking for? Cardstock. Oh, look, see? Do you see what I've done? I've put all of my pots on top of my piece of acetate. That nearly didn't end very well, did it? Because they were all on top there and they were going to get tipped over, which would not have been good. So actually, this is a piece of acetate I've got here. And I'm just going to put that on top of the black cardstock so you can see it. Now, if you've stamped and heat embossed a beautiful design on this acetate, in the same way that you can paint on card, look, you can paint directly onto acetate, and you don't get any sissing, any bubbling, any resistance.
What's
which you would
sissing?
get. Sissing is when, you know, like if you put, so I'll show you what sissing is. I'm going to clean this and let's demonstrate, Joe. Why not? While that's drying. Now, you see how we've got the metallic, the pigment with metallic on the acetate there. If this was a water-based product, and I just drop water on here, this is what sissing is.
Oh,
so you
I
try
see.
to put your colour on, and actually, if I don't know if you can see that, I'm going to lift it up so you can, hopefully.
Like puddling.
There
almost.
you go. Can you see the puddling?
Yeah.
So it'll all kind of, and then if I tip that, one puddle finds another puddle and makes a big puddle. There you go. Collects all the little droplets up as it goes around. And that's where it kind of all sisses and it won't adhere or stick to the acetate. And when I rub it, it just wipes away.
Right, I see.
So that is what your sparkle inks would do on acetate. It's what any kind of water-based product would do. This is not a water-based product. This is a pigment with actual liquid metal inside of it, which means, look at drying on the acetate. Look, this is acetate. Look at the sheen you've got on there. So if you want to do stained glass window effect, you can paint on the reverse of your acetate. Going to look absolutely glorious. Wanted to show you that. There's quite a few different things. We've not got ages. Piece of vellum. Now, who of you out there is a parchment crafter? Who's a parcher? Hands up. If you're a parcher, you need this in. Not if you're parched. That's get yourself a drink. If you're a parcher, parchment crafter, you need these in your life, because actually once you've done your parching, you can go in and paint the detail with your beautiful metallic ink onto your parchment as well. And when it dries, you get that gorgeous brushed metallic shine. It's beautiful. And I just wanted to show you a couple of different things that you could paint onto. Now, I've also got down here, I think I've got a design. That's what I'm looking for. There we go, for our parchers. Here's a design I've got printed onto coloured parchment and heat embossed with our black pigment ink bag and clear embossing powder. So what I can do now, I'm going to open a couple more colours, Joe, while you have a look at some comments. You see how I can just get my little detailed brush, and because the fact that I've got liquid pigment and actual liquid metal in here, I am able to colour this butterfly with that beautiful brushed metallic effect. And look how a tiny little dip in the pot goes an awful long way. I'm able to colour that on my vellum. It's unknown to be able to paint on vellum unless you've got a really quality ink like this, Joe.
People are asking, is the ink that's in these the same ink that's in our metallic markers?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
It works in exactly the same way. You've just got more versatility with this because it's the liquid, because you've got a big pot full of it, basically, Joe, is the word. That's what I'm trying to say, but not very eloquently. Now, glass. You would never believe that you could paint on glass, would you? But you can with these, because again, it's got that liquid metal in there and it's got that pigment in there. So if you want to do decorative little swirls, or if you want to stamp an image on there and then let that dry, as we've got here, you can start to decorate your wine glasses and your little tea lights and your Christmas bits and bobs if you want to. Absolutely glorious. However, if you've bought a load of these plastic baubles, all we've done with this is, look, I'm just take that off, is tip that same colour ink that I've just painted that swirl there, tip it inside, roll it around, tip it back out into your pot, and it stains the inside of your bauble for you. This doesn't have to be a Christmas bauble, because we're all hanging those beautiful glass baubles on bits of ribbon in our conservatory windows and what have you now. And then this is just being decorated with glitter glue on the outside. So you can custom hand make all of these as well, because it sticks to plastic, ceramic for coasters if that's what you want to do, glass for your tea lights, onto your vellum, onto your acetate. The decoration options are absolutely myriad with these.
Leanne, you might know the answer to this question. Sophie was asking in the earlier show about whether the what products have any sort of animal derivatives in them. Is there anything that you can think of that's in here that would stop them being vegan, these inks?
No, I'll check for you though.
Okay.
But I know the contents and I'm certain that they're vegan. However, I will check that because I think it's really important that we give you, and how important that is to everybody. So I want to be 100% accurate, but there is, to my knowledge, and I work with the factories when we make these, no animal derivatives in these products at all.
Wonderful, absolutely brilliant. But we will get a double check for you, Sophie, don't you worry. Yeah, lots of people saying so gorgeous. You love the idea of using these on Christmas ornaments as well. So yeah, lots of you loving them. Someone saying, can you paint on acetate with the aquatint inks that we have?
No, because that's a water base, so that would do the sissing. That's where it would just all run off, like I showed you with the water there, because it is basically a dye in a water, aquatint. So no, you couldn't. And there's nothing that would make it work. You need your metallic inks to be able to do that. For those beautiful stained glass effects, I've got a sample here, look at this. So here's what I mean about beautiful stained glass effects with that metallic. So you see that stamp has been stamped onto here with pigment ink and then clear heat embossed, and then just filled in the lines with that on the reverse.
On the reverse.
Filled in the lines with that metallic ink, and look how beautiful that is on your acetate. And you can do that with any of your stamps that you've got at home, any of your florals, butterfly, it doesn't matter, everything, and it's going to look as glorious as that. It's beautiful,
fantastic. Isn't it? It really is gorgeous. There's so much that you can do with these, which is fantastic. Getting very busy on these now, as we knew we would. $64.96. Remember, you can get the inks on their own if you want to. $44.98 or $71.91. However, for a little bit more money, you're getting absolutely everything here. Let me just show you the picture again of everything that you are getting, because you're getting all 3 of the brushes. You're going to get 4 embossing folders within there and 3 rubber stamp collections for about £20 extra. So it really is worth going for that larger collection, I think. And also, Leanne, it's going to give you like quite a lot of stuff that you can do with these, just using those bits included, would you say? Absolutely, and that's what I'm doing here right now. I'm using that beautiful rose stamp that comes in that collection, Joe, and I've put it on my rocker block, and I've just painted some of the green metallic ink on, and now I'm going to fill it in with the purple ink, and I'm just painting directly onto the stamp with these beautiful metallic inks, and all I keep doing is agitating to make sure that my metallic is beautifully distributed throughout the pigment base. And so remember, this is a real liquid metal in here. It's not metal look, metal fit, metal for, metal try me, metal I've tried my best to make it look that way. It is absolutely liquid metal in these metallic pots, a lovely brushed aluminium, and so you're going to get these beautiful results. So we're going to huff, and then I'm going to stamp it onto my black cardstock. Now look how glorious that is. Once this is dried, you've got that lovely impression there, and once it's dried, you're going to get that lovely satin finish. However, you get more than one application, and I love these because you can stamp with them as well, and you get a much more kind of rustic, artistic look to it, and then you can do lots and lots of different techniques with these. Looks amazing with a butterfly, but you can see we've got the roses here. I've just dried that off a little bit. Look at the flash of metallic that you've got on there. It's exquisite. But now that we've done that, I've still got a whole host of ink left on my stamp block here. And so what I can do is take my spritzers, and I'm just doing a little mist. So it's a little kind of, not like a does that make sense? Total sense.
Yeah, excellent, good. Yeah, it's important that you get the sound effect, because then you could, now look, oh, that's number 2. Look at how oh my word. I say I like number 2 better than I like number 1. And it just depends on what you're doing, you know, how much ink you put on there the first time. But I'm going to be able to do it. And then we've got some beautiful sentiments on the show, some acrylic sentiment stamps. You could heap emboss yourself a couple of sentiments. Pop it in the corner here, bit of gold or glitter card around the back, mount it up. You've got a finished card in seconds. And it looks like you've really taken your time and used some look at that, look at the flash of metal. It's exquisite, Joe, and I can keep going with this. I'm just going to give it another little. There we go.
Beautiful. Sophie's saying, so is the sparklings that we swirl and not shake? Can you shake these metallic ones, or do you have to swirl these ones as well?
If you shake them, you can shake them.
Fabulous.
You can shake them. I mean, swirling is better, but shaking isn't going to kill them.
Right, okay.
Right,
there
okay.
you go.
And that's why I got my little thing and stirred it, and why I'm saying use your cocktail sticks. It just agitates it a bit better for you and gets the mixing of the metallic into that pigment base a little bit better. Look, number 3, and look how glorious that is. I think I would get about 5 or 6 from that if I just carried on doing that. Now, we've also got the amazing embossing folders in this collection, Joe. And you know what we're going to do, Joe, with our embossing folder?
Are you going to emboss something you've inked?
I'm going to emboss something that we use in the bathroom.
Oh. Toilet paper?
Yes!
Oh, that was a random guess. I didn't think it was actually going to be toilet paper.
Yes, we're going to
I thought I
emboss.
was just saying the most silly thing I could think of.
So I'm cleaning this stamp, and to clean the stamp, all I've done is spray it liberally with water, and then I've soaked it up with my kitchen towel.
You can get toilet paper, toilet roll. You can pretty much get everywhere now, I think. Because last time we did this technique, it was like gold dust, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, it was a bit controversial last time, wasn't it? Because I was like, don't use your good toilet paper, because I know it's hard for you to get a hold of. I was really worrying for you all. But we're going to do that again. So I've got some bits of tissue here. And I'm going to do myself several layers. And so I'm just going to size this up with my folder and cut these out. Now, I'd like to know in the comments, hands up who did not see this the last time. Oh, it would be interesting to know. So I've got 4 pieces there, and I'm going to use another 4 pieces there. So I've got 8 pieces of kitchen towel. Here we go. Right, 8 pieces of kitchen towel. And I'm just going to trim these to size, roughly, with my scissors. And I would take more time getting these perfectly to size, Joe, at home, but you know what? We're just speed crafting and showing you lots of different ways. Then you need your mister. And honestly, this folder in this collection is one of my favourite folders, if not the favourite folder of all time. I know it's Sarah's as well. She adores it, this peony corner. It's exquisite. Wait till you see how lovely this is. Now, what you need to do now is just a light mist of water. So remember, you're putting this through a electronic die cutting machine. So you don't want it to be so soaking wet that when you put your folder through, the water wrings out of it. Does that make sense, Joe?
Yes.
That would be dangerous. And so I need to caveat this with, please don't soak the toilet roll if you're using your Gemini, because that will not end happily. You see, I'm doing a very light misting. It's hardly even damp to the touch. Okay, so got that there ready. There? I've got 6. I did think I was going to do 8, but I've got 6.
Okay.
I think 8 might be better, but we're just going to do the 6 to start with. And I'm just going to clean up this water here, because I don't want the folder to rest in the water. I don't want water to be able to drip anywhere when I'm using it with my machine. Very important. I'm going to say it again. I almost want you all to put your hands up in the law court of Leanne to say that you promise faithfully you'll never put drippy toilet roll or kitchen roll in your machine.
Everyone's saying yes.
Good. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to hear it. Right, now we're going to run this through.
And whilst you're popping that through, I just want to remind people what's in this 4-piece bundle for the embossing folders as well. So you can get these 4 embossing folders together. So you see here all of the ones you've got. You've got the lovely lily ones in there. You've got some peony corner ones in there as well. And you can grab those. They are £20 or $29 if you want to grab hold of that. And obviously, if you were going for the larger collection with the metallic inks, you wouldn't go for those as well. There, lots of those are in there.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. It's amazing,
Look at that. Can you see? Look at the depth. This looks like, show the close up, here we go. That looks like absolutely paper sculpting with your towel there, and it feels like the most exquisite handmade mulberry paper. Now you could colour this all up with your metallic inks as well. So now then, what you're going to do is be able to water it down a little bit, because you just want an indication of colour. You don't want the colour to take over.
When it dries, will it dry sort of like crispy, for want of a better word? It will dry hard, will it?
Yes, it dries hard, because it's all the layers have been squished together. Now what I'm going to do is just agitate my green, and remember all of the colours that you're getting, and you're getting some exquisite, I'm just showing you there, just agitating again. You get some really, I mean the metallic collection is off the chart with that brilliant copper and gold and what have you in there. It's exquisite. I've got these two open, which is why I'm showing you the purple and the green. But the actual metallic ones, I'll just paint some of those onto some card for you as well when we finish this, because I want you to see how beautiful they are. Now, what I will do with this now is I will pick a bit up of this colour. First of all, I'm going to go green, and I'm going to pop that onto my mat there, you can see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some additional water to it to water it down. And you can use your spritzer for that. Look at the party it has on it. Look at that. Oh my word, look at that. It's fun. I mean, imagine doing that on your card. We'll do that in a second. And then what we're going to do is just pick it up and drop it into the areas that are embossed. Look at this. It starts to really be beautiful, and it starts to move. And you can do your painting, your detailed painting, by just dropping the colour with the metallics on here, and you get an impression of where the colour is rather than actually painting it. So I'm not worried about being really precise. I'm just wanting to get the colour on here, and then I'm going to do the same with the purple, because what will happen is when I do this now, it will all start to move and distress around. My spritzers ran out. Here we go. There we are. And that will start to move around. And then I would do the same with my purple. I'll just drop it in to the areas, and then when it dries, it will be absolutely gorgeous, and you'll still have all of that amazing texture in there, which we managed to pop in with our 3D folder. And you get it really starting to look very vintage as you do that. It looks gorgeous. Right, so now I'm going to clean that up, because I want to show you some other techniques that you can do with these. So let's get some black cardstock. And we're just going to have a look at some background techniques. Couple of sheets, and you can do it on white as well. And I've got some samples to show you. So actually, I want to get another colour. Let's see if we've got one of these open here, because I want you to see, how gorgeous these are. Well, let's use this fabulous metallic here. Is this open? Yeah. And then we'll give it a little mix, because the actual metallics are amazing and really, really impressive when you use them. So I'm just doing the agitating, so I'm doing the swirling. I'm getting that liquid metal, you can see it there, all mixed in. You can do your shaking as well, the little ball bearings are in there, but it's just, I find it easier. What happens with this actually, because of the liquid metal, let me just tell you why. When you do vigorous shaking of these, they foam up, and you get a lot of bubbles on the top. And it's the liquid metal with the pigment that does that, which is why we say swirling and agitating is actually better than shaking these madly, because then you have to wait for the bubbles to settle a little bit. So you can see all I did there was agitate it, and then I'm going to just move that out the way there with my little stick. Now, if I start to paint some of this on, look at how fabulous that metal effect is on there. It's gorgeous. And we'll just dry it so you can see what it looks like when it's dry. And then I've got some lovely samples to show you. And you see you get that lovely brushed metallic effect on there. Now, let me show you what else you can do, because you can do lots of different fab techniques on the background. I'm just going to prepare, this is a piece of black cardstock, and by prepare, spritz it with water is all I've done. And then I'm just going to take drops of my metallic ink. There we go. Look, it's like, can you see what it's doing? You see how it's then kind of exploding?
It looks almost like a powder, doesn't it?
Yes.
You get like a mixed media powders that you can pop down and then spritz. It kind of looks the same as that.
Look, it's gorgeous. And I mean, when I pick this up and you see the actual metallic effect on it, it's truly fantastic. And all I'm doing there is I've spritzed a bit of black card. I'm dipping my brush into my little pot, which is hiding under you, Joe. Here it is here. I'm just dipping the brush in, and then all I'm doing is tapping the brush. And I get that beautiful mixture of colours. And then when you dry it, it looks absolutely glorious, which I'll pick up and show you, because the metal will come to the metallic will come to the forefront. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this goldy colour. I'm going to have that on here. And then we're going to dry it. So there's one different background technique you can do. And there's so many others as well. I mean, you can just paint it on directly if you want to. The possibilities are endless, Joe, really. You can stamp with them, you can colour on acetate, colour on glass, colour on vellum. You can do your background techniques, you can do your watercolour techniques. Absolutely one of the most versatile products that we've got for you at Crafter's Companion, with the most amazing effect and result, I promise you. This is starting to dry now. You can see it's starting to dry because it's flattened out, and you'll be able to see the beautiful metallic result we've got on here. I'll just stop before it's fully dry. It will get more intense, the metallic look, as you see it, but look at that. It's almost like the universe. What's that word? The
galactic.
It's galactic, thank you. To infinity and beyond. It is galactic, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
It really is fantastic. Now, I just want to quickly run you through the embossing folders. You do get 4. I've only got 3 just here. But you only get 4 in the collection. You've got Decadent Lilies, the Majestic Butterflies, and the Country Garden. Now, you're also going to get the Peony Corner as well. I think the Peony Corner was that one you were just using, Leanne, wasn't it? Yeah, so you get all 4 of those for £20 or for $29. However, £20 extra is what you're paying compared to using the metallic ink. So if you buy the metallic inks on their own, the metallic ink collection is $44.98 on its own in the UK. However, the complete lid collection is $64.96. So basically you pay for those 2, and then what we do is we give you the rest of what is in here completely free of charge, because in the larger collection you're also going to get the rubber stamps. You get 3 of the rubber stamps, which is fantastic. They're those unmounted ones. The quality on those is amazing. And then you're also getting as well 3 of the brushes, and the brushes are what you're going to need to give you all of those different, to allow you to achieve all of those different techniques that you've got there. So you can see all of your metallic inks, your brushes, your embossing folders, and your rubber stamps as well. Now, there are some more embossing folders on the show, which Leanne is going to take us through in a moment. We don't have as many of these as we would like, and they're 3 of our 5x7 3D embossing folders. The price per folder here works out to be £4 if you're in the UK. Now, I haven't seen prices that low on our embossing folders for a very, very long time. A quarter of the stock of these have already sold out and gone. Now, I know Leanne's going to demonstrate these for us in a few minutes. Before she does, I would really love to go back to that vintage lace, though, because I know I've got a big stock update for you on the vintage lace. It's very, very busy on that. So remember, the vintage lace was where we started. So in the vintage lace collection, a couple of different ways of getting it. So you've got your metal die collection, firstly. So in the metal die collection, you've got your 2 floral dies. You're going to get the beautiful big butterfly. You've got the 2 foliage dies within there. And you're going to get that beautiful Chantilly lace border as well. All of that is going to be coming to you as part of the metal die collection. Let me just put this all back, because I do make a lot of mess when I'm doing these shows. What you've also then got is the folder and frame collections as well. So with the folder and frame collection, you've got a beautiful Venetian lace embossing folder. You've got the that one is the Rococo frame. And you've then got the Baroque frame in here as well. £20 if you want to go for that one. Or what you can do is buy the whole collection, which is what everyone's doing. So if you go for both of these, it will still be £50. It's exactly the same pricing. But what we've done is when you do that, we throw loads of goodies in for you. So what you're also going to get is we're going to throw in this linen cardstock for you, which matches beautifully. It's going to work wonderfully with the whole collection. That would be £9.99 on its own. However, that is coming to you completely free of charge. We would charge you £4.99 for the ribbon. 3/4 of a metre of each of these 3 satin ribbons here would be £4.99 ordinarily. It's going to come included free of charge. And the ribbons? No, ribbons and rub-ons. You can see where I'm getting myself caught up there. All of the rub-ons, they're £4.99 worth of value. However, when you get them in this configuration, it's like we're giving you those 3 elements totally free of charge. You are saving more than you are spending on this collection as well. So it's a great time now to grab it. £50 or $59, but over 40% of the stock is already sold out and gone. There's a lot of you in the ordering process at the moment. We've brought this collection back a few times over the last few months, but the problem is every time it comes back, we bring less of it back because obviously we're losing items, you know, because it is an older collection, let's say. So it's why you've got such a great deal on it. But when it's gone, it's gone. So actually, do you know what? It might come back next time, but you might not have the butterfly in any of the options, or one of the frame dies might not be in there. So if you love what we've got right now, I would say definitely today is the day to get stocked up on it. Loads on this show too, though. Lots and lots of good stuff for you, whether it's the inks you're going for, whether it's the embossing folders that you've seen. So I'm having a bit of a moment with my iPad today. I don't know why. I'm not good with technology. It looks like I'm trying to drive it, apparently, which is, maybe that's why it's not working. Maybe that's why it's going where it's going wrong. Lots of people saying how much they love these sparklinks. Someone's saying if I could ask Leanne, if you put some sort of sealant, you know, like dishwasher proof sealant over the inks, so it could go into the dishwasher, you know, like dishwasher Mod Podge or something like that. Is there any reason why you couldn't use it with these inks?
Nope, absolutely you can do that. If you've got a sealant, you can do that, and then dishwash. Yeah, no problem at all. Varnish them, use them outside, as long as you put the appropriate sealant on top. Absolutely, yes you can.
Fantastic, always good to know. Anne is asking, I was wondering if you could do paper casting in the embossing folders. Obviously you wouldn't put it in the Gemini, but if you just put stuff in there and let it dry, could you use them?
What was that?
Paper casting.
What's that?
In the embossing folders. I don't know what it is.
Anne, can you explain more what paper casting is? I think I might have just done that with our 3D embossing folder and the wet towel. However, if it's something other than that, can you tell us what it is? Because actually I've never heard of that.
Let us know, Anne.
Yeah.
I'm sure Anne will get back to us. If we include sewing in the question about... I'll answer that one back in a few minutes. Right, I'm going to hand back. How have you got... I know how much you've got. You still want to show us,
yes.
Leanne. Those embossing folders are very, very busy, I must let you know.
They
are 3 for £12. I don't think I've ever seen them this kind of price. £4 for one of our 3D embossing folders. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is incredible value for money. And 3D embossing folders are truly amazing. Now, just before I get to the 3D embossing folders, I've got a couple of things I want to show you. First things first, I promised to cut this out from that vintage lace collection and show you what it was like with gilding wax on the frame. Now, I've done half and half, so you can see there. And this is what I mean about doing it on black card and then gilding it. And that doesn't look anything like vintage lace. It looks exquisite, great, doesn't it? So this is what I mean about being able to grunge it up. And then I've got a couple of things here I want to show you, just to tie in those techniques that I was showing you earlier with those metallic inks, because I think when you see these, this is when you'll understand what I was showing you. So that is a butterfly stamped with metallic ink and then spritzed on watercolour card. Here, it's just all spritzed in the background of a 3D embossing folder. Imagine that with your peony corner. Here, we've just coloured in an image, and look at the metallic flash on there that's been heat embossed. Here, again, just painted over the top of 3D embossing, stamped with it. Now, this is important for this 3D embossing folder that's coming up. Look, 3D embossed and then painted over the detail with your metallic inks. Here, stamped and cut out on acetate, painted on the back with your metallic inks. Stamped again. This one I adore. Look at this. amazing, stamped and spritzed again. And so you can see here, even with your 3D folders and on your acetate, how absolutely, here is on vellum, how exquisite these are. And here, picking out the detail on another embossing folder. So that's what you're going to be able to do with your metallic inks. And with the embossing folders that I'm showing you, you'd be able to do all of that as well. Okay, wanted to show you them because I think it gives you a really good idea of my baubles going to fall, of what you're able to do with them. Now, I've got here some black card and some watercolour card. And I've got two of my favourite folders from this collection. I've got my Indian Summer and my Zen Garden. What I would give for an Indian Summer right now, and Mr. C better get his finger out and get me a Zen Garden, or there's going to be trouble in the Chivers household. So first things first, let's do a bit of Indian Summer with our black cardstock, because I think, and I'm going to use some gilding wax, because I do think that with these 3D embossing folders, actually, it's beautiful when you, the word I'm looking for, use your gilding wax with them. They always were the words I was looking for. I'm having a right problem with my words today, Joe.
You are no better either. I mean, I'd love to be able to help you out. I'm going to be a very Monday.
I'm having a Monday.
I couldn't get my lenses in. I can't really see in these glasses. So, you know, between us we make a right pair, don't we?
We do. Now, see, I've done this one here, and the detail there isn't as I would like. So I'm going to fold that back over, and I'm going to pop my magnetic shim in. Sometimes with 3D folders, you need your magnetic shim. Sometimes you don't. And on this occasion, I do.
So if you was using a larger or a thicker, heavier paper cardstock, would you probably not have the magnetic shim?
Use it. Yeah, the cardstock was just a little bit thinner. Exactly right, Joe. There, and then look, I'm going to pick that. I hope you can see. Look at the beautiful detail we've got on there. You will see it when I add my gilding wax to it. It will be very, very obvious.
We have the gilding waxes on the show today as well. I got a great deal on those, so make sure you pop along to the website and check those out. And these are fantastic for a whole host of different things, aren't they, these waxes, Leanne?
Oh, they're, you know, for changing photograph frames at home, for picture frames, for your paper craft. You can use this because this is an actual professional, like upcycler, you know, like in your vintage houses. You know, in like old houses where they're making all of the photo frames and the picture frames look old again. And this is the wax that they use. It is absolutely glorious. And when it's on and then buffed, it's permanent.
I thought the other day, does it dry onto the card? Or if you like rubbed it, you know, a little bit later down the line, would it like move? Can you still move it around?
No, it will eventually just be there.
It will be there and you can't move it again.
It'll be there and you can't move it. And when you buff it, basically that happens. Now look at this. I mean, this, if you've never tried this with a 3D embossing folder, you would just want to do this all afternoon. It is truly beautiful. And I'm tickling this, Joe. So I'm putting the tiniest little bit. Look, I've put a little bit in my lid. So I dipped my finger in the pot. I'm hiding under you again. I'm going to bring it over here. I dipped my finger in the pot and then I did this in the lid, which spreads it all out and actually gets the majority of it off my finger. So I've only got a little bit on there. And then I'm tickling over the surface. I'm not pushing my finger on. I'm just allowing my finger to glide over the detail there. And if I want to intensify it in an area, you see I'm just going back into the lid, not in the pot, because you only need a tiny little bit, and then going back over the surface again. That design is amazing. I'm sure you'll agree. The amount of detail you've got in there is, I mean, it's just unknown. And it's all 3D. It's just such a beautiful texture. Looks equally fabulous with your Harmony water inks in that lovely.
Does it work on a, would the gilding waxes work on like a pastel cardstock, Carol's asked?
Yes, well, yes. We'll tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to clean my finger. If you haven't got...
I'm going to clean my finger. That's what I'm going to do now.
I'm going to clean my finger first because I don't do well with dirty fingers. I know I'm really like...
No, you can't. You get mucky everywhere.
I'm controversial in the crafting world because they're like, come on, you've got to have filthy hands when you're a crafter. And I know, but then I have to clean them. And, you know, if my mum...
Good job you got your apron.
It is a good job I've got my apron and my handy cleaning cloth just there attached. If my mum's watching, she can email in and confirm from being tiny, if I got any speck of muck or dust on my fingers when I was playing out, I'd go in like this where she had to clean my hands because I have this thing about my hands not being filthy. So I've got a piece of watercolour cardstock here, and I'm going to apply some of our Harmony Water Reactive ink to it first. And they're not Harmony Water Reactive. They are opaque pigment. So I'm going to return them to their home and pick up the correct ink pads. Bear with everybody.
Oh, should we have a look at the photo of your crochet over the weekend?
Oh, yes.
I might have sent that picture in. Let's have a look at it. Oh, it's gorgeous. Check this out. Oh, isn't it lovely?
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
I really like it.
So symmetrical as well.
That's one of the ones I was very pleased. You know, sometimes you make something and you go, that's all right, and it gets flung in a cupboard.
Yeah.
That's one where I was like, oh, I like that. And I think the putting the red in, I felt I was being quite bold.
Very bold.
But I liked how it turned out. I was quite pleased with it.
Someone was asking, could you, with a vellum, Leanne, could you emboss it and then gilding wax it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I've got a piece of
Fantastic.
vellum. I've got a piece of vellum somewhere. We could probably do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've got a piece here. Why not? So what I'm doing here is, this is with my Zen Garden. Oh no, this is Indian Summer. I beg your pardon. The other one was Zen Garden. This is Indian Summer. I've just got a nice... I want the colours that I'm putting on to radiate out.
Okay.
Because the design is... I'm going to put the piece of card in so you can see. The design is quite central. Do you see what I mean? Symmetrical. So I'm wanting the colours to radiate out from the centre. I don't want them to have to be precise because I can't be bothered. That's just a technical term. Can't be bothered. But if I do this, then I'm kind of getting them in the place I want them to be. So I'm just polishing the ink around the outside.
Awesome. Now, don't forget, there's two different collections on the website of the embossing folders. Both of them the same price. So, collection 1 is your Floral Fusion, your Flourishing Frame, and your Indian Summer. Collection 2 is In the Garden, Love Blossoms, and Zen Garden as well. I think collection 2 is at a quarter of the stock of collection 2 has already sold out and gone. So it's very, very busy. Actually, very busy across both of the collections now, and still very busy on the vintage lace as well. Rosemary says that would be a beautiful framed work of art and so simple. I love it. I think she's talking about the gilding wax techniques. I love those colours that you've used there. What were they, Leanne?
These ones.
Yeah.
Lemon Tonic, Fuchsia, and Parakeet.
Oh, nice.
Are the colours I'm using. And I'm just not really worrying about where they go. I'm just kind of placing them in a direction of the design, because once you've got the emboss on there, it won't really matter. And they'll all kind of work in with each other. And this is for the question about pastel cardstock, would it work? Because actually, after we've done this, we're going to put some gilding wax on top of it as well, so you can see how the gilding wax will work. And if you're wanting to get that, then you can knock yourself out. Right, so I've kind of gone for a random placement of colours there. And now we're going to pop this in, and because I needed my magnetic shim on the other one, I'm going to use my magnetic shim on this one too. So I've got all of my plates there ready to go through.
Fantastic.
Pop them through there.
Lisa says, that's what I'm like, Leanne. When I get messy when I was a child, I'd walk around just saying, ooh, ooh, until my mum would clean my hands after eating. Those colours remind me of the sunsets, says Yolanda. They really do, don't they? Pigment inks. What embossing techniques can be done with the pigment inks? So is that be your heat embossing with it with the pigment inks?
Yes, that's heat embossing. So this is, you see, I just did an inked background there, and I've done my 3D embossing on the front. You can see the design there on the back. And then what you can do with your gilding wax again, and I love this because I think you get a very kind of, what's the word? Like a tie, kind of bright summer, like that lovely intricate woodwork, but with the lovely colours, you know, from... It feels really oriental to me. That's the word I'm looking for.
That was an easy way of saying it, I think.
Gosh. What was I trying to say? I was trying to say it was Thai, it was Bali, it was a
Balinese,
beach.
I think. Maybe that's what it is.
But actually just feels like it's very oriental, which I love.
Catherine has got these folders. And she says she's going to have to rotate them back in the lineup. So I wonder if she has them all sort of lined up and she goes through and rotates them around again. Great way of using the... it really is beautiful design on that. That you're using there. I love it with the colours as well, with the brights behind.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
It looks really lovely, doesn't it? It's very different. And you know, not everybody realises you can do this or even thinks of doing this with your Harmony Water reactive backgrounds and then your 3D folders. But look, and it just catches the shine, brings that design to light. You've got that lovely pastel in the background and then you've got your gilding on top. I mean, looks very different to that. But that's the joy of an embossing folder with all of the different techniques that you can use. And of course, you could use your toilet paper technique with these as well if you wanted to.
Gorgeous. So many different things you'll be able to do with them. I just want to recap both the bundles and what's in each, again, just to be clear as well. So in collection number 1, which is going to have in there your Floral Fusion, your Flourishing Frame, and your Indian Summer is going to be in collection number 1. Loads of you are multi-ordering going for both of these, I can see. Or in collection number 2, you will have In the Garden, Love Blossoms, and Zen Garden as well. So it's completely up to you. However you get them, or if you want to go for both of them, again, that is completely up to you. You are more than welcome to. What you got on the go over there now, Leanne?
So what I've got now, you know, we said, can we do vellum?
Yes.
I found a piece of vellum. And so I thought, let's get the vellum in the gilding wax, because that was the question, wasn't it? Can you do vellum in gilding wax? I think that was the question. So I've got my gilding wax in my little pot lid again. I've 3D embossed my piece of vellum here. And we'll just go, oh, hello.
Oh, that's great,
Why have we never done this before? Oh, my word. Good grief. Whose idea was that?
Right, I'm just going back through the comments to see who it was.
Absolutely off the chart, exquisite. I would be doing this for wedding invitations. Can you imagine? Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I can't find out who said it in the comments.
Oh,
I'm going to
comment again for Joe.
So, going to have to let me know who it was. Oh, it was Ray. Yes, thank you very much. Only thanks for reminding me as well that you asked that, Ray. Yeah, great suggestion, Ray. A really wonderful way of using it, and actually get a very look and feel. Maybe you've got embossing folders that you've done a lot with on like cardstock, but actually with gilding wax and vellum, maybe it would be a completely different way of using them. Imagine doing it with, like, you know, we did the 12 by 12 vellums in the was it the Lily Garden paper pad.
Yes.
Imagine embossing those would be
and
gorgeous.
And then doing a bit of gilding over it as well. Oh my,
yeah,
just
just
for accent,
fantastic.
just for picking up details. Look at, I mean, that is something. If you bought that pre-done as a crafting element, that would cost you an arm and a leg. And look, that's on the vellum. How, I'm going to put the piece of black card behind. Oh,
gorgeous, isn't it?
Look at that. Honestly. Amazing idea, Ray. I really love that. You could probably do the same on acetate.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about embossing acetate.
I'm on.
Are you going to do it? You're going to go for it? She's going rogue now.
I'm going.
People are saying, loads of you saying how gorgeous that is that on the acetate. On the acetate. No, on the vellum. I'm getting my acetates and my vellums confused now.
Are you?
Yes.
It happens to me all the time, Joe.
So that was vellum, yes.
That was vellum. This is acetate.
Wonderful. Eleanor saying, is that vellum? Yes, it is. Wow, I love it. Stunning, says Mary. Loads of you are thinking about that. And there's no reason why you couldn't do that with all of your embossing folders, I'm guessing, Leanne.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Every single embossing folder you've got. I mean, I think the 3D embossing folder effect is the best. The best. But why I did it like that, I have no idea. But there you go. I do think it is the best. I went all natural Libra there. We've had this discussion before.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yes. Oh, come on. Get with the programme, Joe.
I still haven't seen it. I'll give it a go if I can remember. There's just so much TV to watch.
Look at that. Look at the... Oh, my word. I mean, just let's look at that for a second.
Wow.
Look at this. Isn't in an aperture for a box top with a gift in. Oh my word.
Now,
right,
is that a heat resistant one that you used, or is that a construction one?
Construction.
Okay.
Construction. Now we're getting our Gilding wax out again. Maybe should have got a different colour. Not worried about it. Look at the state of my finger. Oh, that's going to keep me awake. I'm going to get me sticking. If you've got a Gilding wax finger yourself at home, this is what you need. Stick away. Gets it
Right.
up, just
Oh,
gets it
gets
away
rid
in
of
a
it all.
flash. Yeah, in a flash. Right, let's put this on here now. What's going to happen here? Oh my word.
How gorgeous is this?
Joe, look at this. Oh my word, this is exquisite. This is why you need all of the range of embossing folders like this in your stash at home. I'm doing all Lisa Tarbuck's stash again.
Jeffrey said, Joe, this is only Monday. What's the rest of the week going to be like? I agree, Jeffrey. I hope we haven't peaked.
I know, I hope we haven't peaked as well. Look at that. I mean, that is truly exquisite. And then what you can do with acetate is just give it a little polish. And when you polish it, it'll burnish it, and then the gold comes to the fore. You see how it's not rubbing away?
Yeah.
It's not coming off. It's just burnishing it up, so you get that lovely shine. And then on your, oh my word, and then if I just put that behind so you can see it. Look how glorious that is. So yes, you could do acetate and, oh, that's my favourite.
That's great. I think it's going to work well with all your embossing folders, but these super detailed ones especially are the ones that are really going to pick up, aren't they, with that something like the gilding wax. Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to show you what I did with my frame. This is my vintage lace frame. That's the vintage lace frame. So very easy to do. And if you want the whole thing to be really gold, then you just go to town with your gilding wax.
Okay.
And you go more is more rather than less is more. And rub that in. I mean, it's really... This is not an imitation of a gilding wax, Joe. This is the real I am, would be used in stately homes to repair picture frames and chairs. You can use it yourself at home for picture frames. It is actual metal. It is metal in here with like a solvent.
You get 30ml pots of this as well.
And I've got a pot of this at home that I've had for 10 years.
Yeah, apparently it lasts forever, is what people say. It's $11.99, or in the US it's... Gosh, I can't see with these glasses. $16.99. There we are. I hope I can get my contact lenses in tomorrow, you know.
I hope you
For everyone's sake.
Yeah, me too. Now look, how glorious is that? That looks like an actual gold frame. That is a die cut from our beautiful vintage lace collection, which could now be laid up onto that beautiful embossed background. How fantastic. It looks like a gold mirror frame. It's exquisite.
Really does.
But
if you covered yourself in that, you could be one of those performers in Covent Garden, couldn't you?
I would love to.
Please don't do that, because I know what'll happen. We'll get emails now.
I would love to roll in a vat of gilding wax. Can you imagine? Look, on the vellum, on the acetate, on the watercolour. I mean, just looks gorgeous. And that's what I mean about your vintage lace collection, working across everything. Look what happens when you make it up to that beautiful gold. I mean, just... exquisite, Joe. Exquisite.
Really, really gorgeous is what it is. Very, very busy now on those embossing folders. Don't forget about the vintage. I don't know where I was going with that.
Vintage lace?
The vintage lace. Very, very busy for the folders and frames, which is on your screens at the moment. The big collection, though, remember, in the big collection, you're going to get the paper stock, $9.99. You're going to get the ribbon worth $4.99, and the rub-ons worth $4.99 as well. So if you want to get those freebies, then make sure you get that big collection in your basket. Monica has sent us in some more pictures, which we absolutely love. Been busy as Monica. Look at these.
Oh my word.
How fabulous are they?
Absolutely glorious. I can't think of another word.
They're almost a bit ethereal.
Absolutely beautiful, really. And I think it perfectly demonstrates how flexible embossing folders are in terms of technique and colour and style and all of the different things you can do with them. Really, really stunningly beautiful, Monica. I'm very impressed with your work.
Wonderful. Now, I want to just quickly take a moment to recap everything that you've seen on the show so far, because we're really, really busy. Let's go to the embossing folders first. So this is embossing folder collection number 1. In here, you'll get the Floral Fusion, the Flourishing Frame, and the Indian Summer. There's another collection for you. Same value, same pricing. In the Garden, Love Blossoms and Zen Garden is what is in that second collection for you. Very busy across both of those. Liquid inks, a couple of different ways of getting these. So the liquid inks on their own, $44.98 if you want to grab them, or $71.91. That gets you just the inks on their own. We do have some embossing folders for you as well. Now the embossing folders, these are £20 or $29. However, there's another collection as well, which is the bigger collection, where basically, if you pay for the embossing folders and the inks, we send you all of this lovely lot as well. So you're going to get, free of charge, all those stamps, which is fantastic, and those 3 brushes. Those brushes are the most beautiful, beautiful quality. They're the Crafter's Choice by Royal and Langnickel, and they're very robust, as you can hear. But you get all of those. $64.96 or $104.81 gets you absolutely all of that. Don't forget as well about where we started with that Monday mega deal. Really busy here. £22 or $29. The Monday mega deal is something that we just put together. Sometimes it's a bit hodgepodge, like a collection of stuff at a great deal, or sometimes it is something a bit more of a theme. So this one is your crafty fun. So you've got 3 die collections in there, an embossing folder, a stencil and a stamp set. So a really good sort of selection of bits for £22 or $29. Now back to the vintage lace. Half of a big stock has sold out and gone. And we have brought this to you a few times recently. Kind of every time we bring it back though, the collection seems to get a little bit smaller because it is kind of the last of this now. So if you love it, if you want to get £20 worth of goodies included for free, then you absolutely need to grab that now. £50 or $59. You are saving more than you're spending with that one as well. So it is great, great value. We're going to go back to some of the double-sided dies from this morning's masterclass. Now what I would say is, if you love any of the techniques you're about to see Leann share with us, you can go back and watch a whole 2-hour show of this if you want to. Now, this was this is a whole selection of 6. So in here you get the butterflies, you get the tiles, you're going to get the retro florals, you've got the hearts in there, the Art Deco one as well. You're going to get 6 in there in total for £100 or $125. I know they are a bit of a considered purchase, but they're creator card dies. So the creator card dies, but you're getting them doubled really because they are able to do so much and they layer up. Now, we do have some smaller collections for you with the double-sided dies on the show, and these were some of our edgeables. So think about all the techniques you can do with all of our edgeable dies that we always bring you, but with this, what you're going to be able to do is do double the amount of work in one go. It layers up and gives you something really quite special. In here you've got the Retro and Swirls collection for £20 or $30. Well, there's another duo as well. This one here is the Dancing Butterflies and the Pretty Florals, which is another selection for you that you can go for. Very busy across both of those. A lot of you commenting away, saying how beautiful Monica's collections are. There goes there goes Leann's bauble. It's fine. Don't worry. Annette saying rolling in a vat of Gilding wax. OMG, so funny. Eleanor says I have some from a little while ago, so she's going to dig those out. Donna saying Joe, you're nice in glasses. Oh, thank you, Donna. I just need to get some proper ones that I can actually see out properly, and then maybe I'll start wearing them a little bit more. Jan and Robin both saying how gorgeous the acetate was, as is Ray. All in capitals. Oh my, so love the acetate too. So loads that you're going to be able to do with those. Do you want to quickly see a few samples from this morning, just from the collection, the larger collection, just to give you an idea of some of the great things that you're going to be able to do there. There's the butterfly one. Oh, this is the gorgeous love heart one as well. Think about everything you can do with our creator card, but now it's going to give you twice as much detail because it's a double-sided die, which is fantastic. Then you've also got those stars here as well, and my favourite is this one, is the tiles. I absolutely adore the tiles, but you're going to get 6 double-sided creator card dies within this collection. A third of the stock went this morning, so we had a very, very busy masterclass show. You can go back if you want to and watch the whole masterclass show back again, but Leann's going to give us like a soupçon, a little taster, aren't you, Leann?
I am. A little soupçon. I do like the word soupçon. It's French, isn't it? Which is different to saucisson. which is a sausage, Joe.
Just a little sausage, isn't
Just
it?
a little sausage.
Exactly.
A saucisson, a little
You can't have
sausage.
too much of a good thing.
You can't have too much of a good
You
thing.
can have too
well,
much
you
of a good
can.
thing, I said.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I don't think you can have too much of a good thing. Like, often I just want to sit and eat a whole chocolate fudge cake, but I can't because I'd feel very ill. But anyway.
Yes.
So anyway, in another life, when I don't put on weight just looking at a chocolate fudge cake, I could probably sit and eat one, but never mind. These double-sided dies, and I really didn't know, Joe, that your favourite was the opulent tiles.
It is.
Because that's the one I'm going to demonstrate, because guess what?
Is she your favourite too?
Yes.
Do you know, I think it says
I knew
something
it was the
about
reason I
us as
liked you.
people, you know.
Dear.
I think because it's so uniform and
Symmetrical.
symmetrical.
It's symmetry.
So I think we both kind of like things, you know, like in their place. I think it says a lot about us as people that we both went for the same one.
I completely concur with you. Now, our double-sided dies that you may have not seen before are a die which cuts on both sides. It's like magic. It took us a long time to develop this technology with our factories, and it is proprietary to Crafters Companion. So you will not, we've patented it, the technology, it's that unique. So you will not find another double-sided die anywhere else in the crafty world. What I'm going to do is cut out, I've got some cardstock already. I'm going to make a box basically, look, with a lovely tiled top, which will be lovely to put. Now, there's a silk scarf under there, maybe some homemade Turkish delight. It has that look to it, so you could get some lovely sweets in there, a bit of parchment, amazing, some of Sarah's fudge in there. Oh, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it with some glitter card and some pink card as well. I want to see what that looks like. So I'm just looking at the two designs here, and I can see the top is here, and I'm just looking at the pattern, so I'm going to pop that down into my glitter card. So you see I've got my piece of glitter card. Now what you need with your double-sided dies is your special double-sided die plates. So you've got clear plate, double-sided die plate, card, die, more card, another piece of card, this pink side going down. So I've got my die sandwiched between two pieces of card, double-sided die plate again, and top plate. And then this goes through your machine in its entirety. So as long as you've got your double-sided die sandwiched between two of the double-sided die plates, and you've got your pieces of card, one underneath and one on top of the die, then you're going to be able to cut two very different pieces all in one pass. Now, let me see what it's done here with my glitter card. Has it gone, oh, why has that happened, Leanne? I might have to try that. Have I got the right plates in here? This happened to me once before, if you remember. Can you remember when I had the wrong plates? Let me check.
The double-sided ones should have labels on them.
Oh. And you know why?
This gives Sarah great pleasure every time you do this. You know, I don't know why. She finds it most hilarious. Was that your Gemini foil press plates you just used?
It was. Oh,
She grassed you up this morning about this. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna. Can somebody undeliver those flowers that you got from me at the weekend? Because that's not how you support your colleagues at all. Grassing them up on live TV, is it? No. Somebody undeliver them.
She was also banging the double-sided die against the side of the table whilst telling you off. Whilst saying this. Oh, have I put my foot in it?
I'm going to send her a memo. In fact, I'm going to call her as soon as I leave the studios. If you are watching, Sarah Davies, you are in big trouble, young lady. You never bang your double-sided die on the desktop. I need you in the law court of Leanne tomorrow morning, first thing, with your hand in the air, swearing never to do that again. You little tinker. Right. But I'm going to do the same thing. There we go. So you see all of the little bits come out, no knocking there. All of the little bits just fall out from the two pieces that we've cut without any effort at all. And you see all I'm doing here is giving them a little, even just look, little flicks. And there they go. They just come out, no problem. All right, so you've got two pieces like that now. We're going to forget about the glitter card because I'm not going to try and find another piece to match. So there's my two pieces that have come out of my die. Let's move all these to the side.
Great little
Get the
shape
pieces
of
out
it,
the
so
way.
confetti bits.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And instead of wasting them, you could absolutely use them for that. So we've got our
Joe's a
two
tittle
panels.
tattle. Joe's a snitch. Joe, oh Joe, I can't believe it. Joe's in trouble for tattling.
No, Joe can have a brownie point. Letting me know the real situation.
So got the finger, Robin's saying.
And just to show you here, this is the other one that I didn't pop out all the pieces, just to show you, because this is the one I've already got done. So you don't have to watch it. These pieces are all popping out.
It was actually my producer Laura that reminded me that Sarah had tapped the double-sided die. I'd totally forgotten about it. So if you want to blame anyone, really, blame Laura.
You little minx.
I'm not trying to pass the buck, honestly.
No. So I just wanted to show you that one was popping out, no problem at all, which you can see there. I've got one already done though. Now I like to glue these using my stick and stay. I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, excuse me. So you can do it with stick and stay, or you can do it with your dotty tape pen. Choice is yours. What I've got here is my box almost done, and I'm just going to finish this. So what I've done is I've just done a 6x4, I've done a 6.5 by 4.5 box, and I've cut a 6x4 aperture in the lid of the box, and I've just lined it with a piece of construction acetate. You can see that there. To make the box up, we're just going to do as you would have done, I'm sure, as crafters many times before. We're just going to put this box lid together so it's ready to receive my beautiful double-sided
Anne says,
panel here.
Leanne, tried tapping the double-sided dies against my leg, figured it wouldn't hurt the die, wouldn't hurt them, but it didn't knock anything out either.
Now, what maybe you that's can not do, Anne, and what I do, look, is I do this.
Oh, okay.
Because the table it's not gonna thing as much. However,
so I guess if you bash them against the corner of the table, will it'll dent the cutting edge, will it?
It will. Depending on the surface you're banging it onto, you could damage your cutting edges.
Right. Okay.
And so therefore, you don't want to do that. However, what we have included for you is on the opposite side, all of the pokey holes required to clean your die.
Back out from the other side.
So you see there, and there were a couple of little pieces that were in there. So it's not like you can't clean your die in a safe and non-damaging way. It's just if you're an impatient Nelly like our Sarah Davies, that you haven't got time.
I feel I might be getting a text from Sarah at some point
to do it. But there you go. That's how you do it when you're doing it the right way. Okay, so now I've got my two panels and I've made my box lid, you can see there, and I've got my lovely panel on there, and then I'm going to do my layering up. So first panel that's going on is my lovely peach one here. And actually I'm going to use my dotty, you can use your stick and stay or your dotty tape pen. I'm just going to use the dotty tape pen. Dotty tape pen for your double-sided panels like this is fantastic, because going over it here, all it does is put adhesive on the card, and it doesn't then show through into all of the little areas. And the glue in your dotty tape pen is exactly the same as in your regular tape pen, so you get that lovely permanent adhesion. And look, when I bring that right up to you, look, that's a see-through window. You can't see any little glue bits through there. And that's the dotty tape pen doing that for you. Now I've got my second panel, which overlays and then gives you this lovely 3D look. So that's going to get dotted as well on the reverse. Notice I'm still using the same approach of a flick at the end with the tape pen. Really important to do that because it cuts your glue.
Christine said I need to go and sit in the corner. If you do, Joe, you've only got yourself to blame against the energy tax. I thought you guys were going to side with me. I really did. I thought I had you all on side, but it appears not. Tomorrow will be an interesting day.
Tomorrow will be an interesting day.
At least it's not like you can go back to the website and watch all the shows back, and see exactly what was said.
I'm going to be doing that as soon as I get in the house. I'm going to be watching that to see that happening. There we go. Now notice what I did. I put my hand inside my box lid and I rubbed it from this side. I'm just getting the glue to stick and warm it up and nicely get that stuck to the top of my acetate there. And there we go. I've made a little box with that beautiful lattice top. We've got two now. You could put a lovely chocolate box bowl on there. We've learned how to do that today with our vintages. We could do a lovely vintage lace panel inside if we wanted to. Put a little butterfly on there. You could gild one of these. Imagine gilding one of these, cutting them out in black card and gilding it up. It's going to look exquisite. What would you be putting inside there, Joe? I would be putting some homemade Turkish delight.
Oh, lovely. Maybe some chocolates or some fudge would be nice in there. Maybe some of Sarah's homemade fudge. I bet I won't be getting any of that for a while again now, will I?
You can forget that for 2 years.
Oh, massive thanks, Leanne. It's a pleasure spending the show with you again today. When are we back? Are we back together?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening?
Yeah,
for the launch party?
Yeah, for launch party.
Ooh.
And do you know what I'm going to bring you, Joe?
What are you going to bring me?
I'm going to bring you some corned beef pie.
Oh, please do. I'll love you forever. All you have to do is feed me. It's the easiest way. I'm like a Labrador, really. Give me a few scraps and I'm anyone's. If you want to get hold of the double-sided die, I'm really, really busy on those now. £100 or $125. Remember, if you want to see a whole presentation of that, you can go back to the earlier show and see the whole thing. So it was a whole 2-hour masterclass show for you. If you've missed any of this show or you're just coming to this show at the end, remember you can catch up anytime you like over on our website, crafterscompanion.wherever you are, so.co.uk if you're here in the UK, .eu if you're in Europe, or .com if you're in the US. Do you love that Europe was that way and the US was that way? I don't know why it is. That's the way it always is. I'm not too sure. There's loads still to come here, of course, this week. Got a whole week of programming coming up. We'll be back in the morning with the softer side of life. That's 11 a.m. here in the UK, 6 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. And then myself and Leanne will be back tomorrow evening, this same time tomorrow, with the launch party. So yeah, don't forget to check out your baskets. If you're in the US, I hope you have a great day. If you're here in the UK or you're in Europe, I hope you have a great evening. Take care.